Hi there, welcome to week 4. Everybody's getting their summaries up in the drives, I can see, and I'll go take a look at them. I try to get the grades turned around in a week. They'll be in the grade book probably this time next week. So there's that. Now, I would like you to do a little something for me. Give me a reflection, think about on paper or on Padlet what it was like to do that assignment. And then we'll be done with it. And I'll show you that in just a second. So we're going to be moving on to Unit 2. And Unit 2 is really kind of fun because, excuse me, on the syllabus it says extended definition, which can be really dry and very dull. But there are all kinds of ways to talk about extended definitions. And so what we're going to do is, and I've done this for a couple of semesters and people really enjoy it, is you're going to be writing a little article for a website called How Stuff Works. Because what is a definition anyway, but an explanation of something. And in this case, it's something that, how something works. And you can use your own knowledge, or you can go out and do a little bit of research on something you're curious about yourself, or you can add a little bit of research to what you already know about stuff. And add some pictures and make it look nice as you can, or as nice as you want to. So that's the assignment. So let me walk you through the whole thing. And I'll show you what you have to do for this week. So let me get the screen up here. Okay, here we go. So, like I said, first off, if you wouldn't mind going to this Padlet and just, writing a couple of sentences about, what it was like to work with AI in a situation where your instructor actually said you can use it. Was it harder using it? Oh, here's the Padlet. I'll show you. Was it harder working with AI? Did it make things easier? What did you think? Did you learn anything doing it? You never want to do it again, or yeah, I can think about doing this sometime in the future. So again, you don't have to sign in for this one, but if you would, that would be nice. But you don't have to. I'm really more curious than anything, and I want to take anonymous responses and take them to the department and show them that, hey, people are very thoughtful about this kind of stuff. So that would be a nice thing, and I would appreciate that. So then the summaries are done. So now we're moving into, like I said, the second unit about an extended definition. So the first thing you're going to do is to go to Perusall, which is, it's buried under my thing here. Go to Perusall, go to writing definitions. Now there are two parts of this thing. Okay, this one is talking about just what informal definitions are. They're like a sentence, and they've got it's a sort of a formal phrase, right? So when you're defining it, this is the term, and this is a broad category, and these are the features that define the broad category. So when I'm talking about a one sentence definition, it is this, right? So a vacuum cleaner, which is the term, is a household appliance, broad category, uses suction to remove dirt, distinguishing feature from surfaces, blah, blah. Okay. So you're going to be writing something like that. And here's an example. And then there's a second part to it, which talks more about extended definitions. Okay. And again, it's just about extended definitions and how they differ from the simple ones. And it's got a little bit more in here about the formal sentence definitions, but it really talks more about extended ones. So when you go back to the course home, after you do that, then go over to this Padlet. And Jack's already put one up, and it's great, but it needs to be one sentence. So this could be the beginning of the article. So it doesn't have to be any longer than this, or those things that were on Perusall. This term, broad category, specific features of. Okay, so that's what a one sentence definition is all about. So that's the Perusall reading for this time. And then the next thing you're going to do, and that's due on Sunday night, so that's pretty simple. Do next Wednesday is something a little bit more detailed. So as soon as you get this stuff about the sentence definition done, you might as well go ahead and start it on the rest of this. This is going to go to this site. You're going to pick an article that looks of interest to you, and then you're going to do a brief analysis of that article and how it works, how it sits on the website. Excuse me a second. Sorry, battling allergies today. Okay, so let me show you, for example, the things you'll be looking at are who's the audience? And remember, we've been talking about, or you've been reading about audience a lot, and you all have been talking about it a lot. So this is kind of a practical exercise in really analyzing an audience. So who is this website for? And you're going to find, depending on the article, it could be could be any number of things, from someone who already knows the subject to someone who knows nothing about it. Okay, so you and then you have to kind of figure out how you decided that was that audience. Was it language? Was it tone? That kind of thing. And then how it's laid out. How's it formatted? It's got bullets. How long are the paragraphs? People are going to want to give me really long paragraphs, and they're not. Use of boldface, use of headings and subheads. What kinds of definitions are used? What kind of visuals are there? Whether static, just kinds of stuff. And then your analysis of how effective it was in explaining how the thing that it's explaining works, and why not. Then when you get the analysis done, you put it in the drive, in this drive right here, which is empty. This right here, how stuff works analysis. It goes in there, okay? So let me back up here, and I will show you how stuff works. Let's go over here. So here's the site. It's a really cool site. I love this thing. So you'll see across the top, it's got categories. There's science, science, cactus, okay, lots of stuff. So there's environmental science, physical science, innovation, life science, more science versus myth. There's engineering, transportation, all this kind of stuff. So these are the science topics. You can browse through there and see if there's something that you find. How Star Wars works, fan-built droids, right? That's cool. So that's the science one. The tech one, same thing. It's got, okay, so see what kind of articles they've got here. Gen Z is ditching a smartphone for vintage flip phones. I remember those. Okay, so, and this one is a really scary story about AI generated voices, speaking of AI, and getting money from people by saying that they're a family member in trouble. So there are two topics. There's computers. Okay. Here's about Mastodon, which is the not new Twitter. Okay. Let me go back. So there's computers, hardware, internet, computer softwares, computer security, peripherals, and there you go. That's just computers, but you can go back to tech and have electronics, and it's got all of this stuff, gadgets, phones, lots of options that you can explore. Home and garden, you probably won't want to pick that. Auto, maybe, if you're interested. Cars and safety, this could probably be, cold air. Okay, so the auto people probably know this. Culture, then there's more here. There's health, money, animals, a few others things. So you just pick one of these, and let me go back over here to tech. Why the heck not? And I'm gonna just pull this one up because I looked at it already. So when you're doing your analysis, you're gonna have to decide who the audience is, right? So who the audience is, and how do you know? Who's the audience and how do you know? And I'm just going to leave that there, but you can tell because this could be anybody. This is sort of an anybody audience. Thank you very much. I don't need that. Right. So the language is straightforward. It's pretty simple. It's again, it's for a sort of a general educated audience. Now here's a clue. You can go really find out what the demographic breakdown of their audience is by going out to a website and looking at what the demographics is for how stuff works. And I'm not going to do it right now and take the time, but you can do that. So if you're interested, just Google, what are the demographics for how stuff works website, and it will tell you. Okay, so the audience, how is it laid out? Well, these are short paragraphs, right? See how short these paragraphs are? They're no more than about 3 lines, in this one anyway. It uses subheads with, bold facing. These things are links out to other articles. So if you do a little bit of research, you don't have to do a bibliography. You can just link out to the article from your article. Okay. So again, these are really, really short. Now they've added a video in here. So if you're talking about visuals, you know, they've added video. Here's some fun quotes. Okay, so this is all, it's fairly long. These things should be about 1,000 to 1,200 words long, these extended definitions, I think. But it's still not too long, but you can see how the information is broken up into small bites. That's one of the highlights of a really good website, trying to give you information. Now, you may be in the course of your careers having to do stuff like this, having to do these extended definitions, especially when if you're working with customers or clients. They may not know all the tech stuff, but they are interested in what you're doing. So you may be doing these little kinds of extended definition reports. In fact, some people I know who are in the computer industry do a lot of these and do them all the time. Tech people too. So that would be the analysis. So what else do we have to do with the analysis? Let me go back over. Let's see if I can find this. So with the analysis, let me see. Who's the audience? Who's us? Okay, it's got very short paragraphs, a lot of boldface, use of headings. I have to go back and look at the kind of definitions. We looked at the visuals. This is actually the article is very good at explaining how it works because it's very funny. It takes a historical look as well as a current one. So I'll go back over there, see if I can find it again. What was I tech? Here it is. Okay, good for me. Now, the definitions on here about dumb phones, okay, and there are a couple of little definitions of this going through here. So flip phones refer to less smartphones, like old school flip and slide phones. So that's kind of a definition of what the flip phones are and what this person is going to be talking about. But the whole thing, and then so what I'm trying to say is you sort of start with this one sentence with a sentence definition or two, and then the rest of it is that extended definition where you kind of take that beginning definition and unpack it, pull it apart, and expand on some of the different points. So that's that one. Let's see if I can go back here and do science. Just go grab the top one here. Yeah, why not? No, I don't need that one. Okay, saguaro cactus, right? So this one's fun. This is a different way of starting this thing. Here's a little art assignment. Grab a piece of paper and draw a cactus. I'll wait. Now, be honest, is it tall and cylindrical? Congratulations, you've just drawn a saguaro. I think it's how you say it, cactus. I'm sure I got it wrong. It's the only cactus that looks like that, and in spite of its iconic silhouette, most people have never seen one in real life, as it only grows in a small area of the American Southwest and northern Mexico. That is an extended definition right there. That is a simple sentence definition right there. It fits into that template beautifully. What is it? What's the category? And what does it do differently? And how do you find it? So this one really fits the model well. Again, boldface, subheads, links out to other articles. You can see it's pretty, and there's supposed to be another picture in here, but there it is. Now these images are just to sort of show you what they are. It's not a teaching how something functions, but it's explaining something. So so that's what all this is all about. And be quiet. Get away from me. Okay, so there we go. Back to website. All right. So sentence definitions, comparison to other non-technical things. Say we're talking about dumb phones and you know, comparing flip phones to the current smartphones. So this is the kind of analysis you're going to do. You can set it up to look like this if you want to, and just sort of answer these questions this way. So you got a paragraph says, you know, who the audience is. It's formatted by, you know, a couple of the kind of definitions that are used, and maybe even give an example, and then what kind of visuals there are. And then this would obviously be narrative, how effective. It was effective because, or I didn't think it was very effective because, right? And so once you get all that done, you know, it won't be more than a page, if that, upload it to the drive. And then after you get all that, after you've looked at all these, and look at several articles, so find one that you really find interesting and you want to take a look at more deeply. Then after you do that, you go over to this Padlet and throw out your idea, okay? And then comment on each other's with helpful suggestions and tips and contacts, images, whatever you want to do. A lot of times when I do this, students give each other really good ideas that they can use in their articles. So do that. So just put this up here so I can take a look at it and we can all take a look at it. And if I think you've gone off the deep end somewhere, I will let you know. I will probably message you on Slack, and I will certainly leave a comment on here too. So check back a bit after you've posted yours, and just to be sure that I haven't, said, you need to rethink that maybe, or what are you going with that? Now, one last thing about this. You're going to ask me what you're supposed to write about. And I'm going to tell you, I don't care. It should be something. This is a chance for you to put some of your knowledge to work if you want to. If you know a whole lot about, I always get somebody talking about cars. If you know a whole lot about cars and you want to say how electric cars work or how driverless cars work, and this stuff that you know really well, or how to, or what is electric car all about, that kind of thing. Go ahead and do that. If it's something you're kind of curious about yourself and you want to go look up a little bit of stuff, go for it. Okay, so it's something that you're interested in. That's really my bottom line on this. Is just tell us something about something that you're interested in, or something that you know a lot about. Now, you're not trying to tell us how to do it, right? You're just giving us information about it. Telling us how to do it is the next unit, which is an instruction manual. You won't have to make an instruction manual from this topic. If you're going to talk about, give us everything you know about electric cars, you don't have to make a how to build an electric car in the next unit. No. But this is not a how-to. This is explaining about something. So when they say how stuff works, it's really just sort of a headline, and it gathers up all of these different ways of telling us, explaining things, and getting information. It's like a little teaching thing. So you're teaching us about a topic, and I hope that makes sense. So bottom line, this is not a how-to. You are telling us about something that's of interest to you and telling us what's interesting about it, maybe a little bit about how it works and why, maybe some history. We'll look at some of the articles and you'll get some ideas from that. So I think that's it. Again, I'll be looking at the summaries and getting notes up within the week, or getting grades up within the week. They'll be in here somewhere. And I think that's all for today. That's long enough. I've talked quite long enough. Thank you very much. So everybody have a nice week, and message me on Slack. I've had some good conversations with people too, by the way. Message me on Slack, send me an email, and I'll try to get I had a meltdown with my computer, wouldn't talk to my mic or my camera this afternoon, which is what was going on. I think I've obviously kind of fixed it, but I still don't know how I fixed it. But let me know, and I can walk you through some more stuff. And that's all for today, and I will talk at you next week. Bye.